What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 443 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles, and I'm joined today by my co-host, the new co-host. He won't be new for long. His name's Ben Funky Askren. How you doing, Ben?
Where's Nomad? 443, baby.
Yeah, Nomad's pulling up the area code right now.
I don't need to pull up the area code. I know the area code. It's my area code.
Oh, here we go.
443, 7 other numbers is my phone number.
Okay, wow. So we're just
other numbers.
We're 7 numbers
put
away.
that information out there.
We're 7 numbers away from getting Nomad's phone number.
I'm not going to dox myself.
I've worked with him for like 4 or 5 years now. Still don't have his number. It's the craziest thing, Ben.
410 is the original.
That's not true, is it?
No, it's not true. No.
Okay. I mean, who knows? Some guys they only communicate now via say Instagram Messenger or Facebook Messenger. They don't really exchange numbers.
Yeah, that is kind of a thing, but no, Nomad didn't have Facebook either for a long time, and then he had to have Facebook to work at Flow because you have to make posts. So he made one in a pseudonym.
Yes.
That was his grandfather's name, which is kind of a weird name. And then people that didn't know that, like Kyle's old boss Nick, would be like, "Hey, is there someone named Carmelo making posts?" We're like, "It's fine. It's Nomad. He's a whole thing." And then that guy would be like, "Want to send Nomad an email?" And he'd be like, "Wait. What's Nomad's real name?" Because he'd worked with him for years, but no one knew his real name. So,
my goodness.
Yeah, he causes all kinds of.
He had the marketing higher ups thinking we were getting hacked on Facebook.
Yeah, they're like, dude, someone. Because remember, I don't know if you remember in 2016 that summer, our Facebook got hacked and was posting all those horrible pictures.
Yes, I do recall that.
Then that was right around the time Nomad came on board.
Someone
hacked by Carmelo.
Yes. Someone at Midlands, afterwards I was talking to them and they were getting pictures and stuff. They pulled up screenshots they still had from that.
Oh yeah.
From that hacking of our Facebook.
Why do they have those on their phone?
Yeah. Great question. Great question.
Terrible.
There could be reasons. It's the 10 yoga poses you need to know or something like that.
Oh my God.
So, big news dropped while Ben was still here. Ben was in Austin, Texas yesterday. Now he's back in
and part of your crew withheld it from us, Christian. We're sitting on one side of the place, the other, and we find out via social media they didn't have the courtesy to walk over and say, "Hey, this gigantic, humongous news just happened."
Yeah, and we're gonna kick it right to David Bray, the hider of that news. He posted the story and neglected to tell us when we sat not 100 feet away from him. David, explain yourself.
Well, I've been accused of overexposing myself recently, and so I was trying to stay a little bit more private. We have a big office. I walked all over, couldn't find it.
Oh my!
No,
gosh.
it was. I wanted to get it up and out as soon as possible, and should have sent it, but
I appreciate that. So the big news being Anthony Cassar and Kyle Connell both out for the year. Penn State is going to pull Seth Neville's redshirt. They're going to bump up Shakur Rashid to 197, and that will be their lineup at 97 in heavyweight. And really the discussion turns immediately to, well, how does this affect the team race? Obviously, majorly. Nomad says this is the biggest injury affecting a team race in at least a decade.
Can you find me another one?
Clickbaiter.
It's more clickbait, lacking historical context. What's a decade to you?
What about Michael Kemmerer last year? That was a big one. That's 20-some points. You said they weren't going to be close.
Yeah, they were not in contention to win last year.
Okay, fair enough.
But I went back to 2010 and I looked at actual close team races, and I could not find one. The closest, so 2009, Iowa beat Ohio State by 4.5. I couldn't get the rosters of those teams, so I couldn't see if there were any injuries. But at least back to 2010, this is the first time I can remember someone losing a major national title contender that affects the team title race. It has affected individual weights, it has affected team trophy races, but not for first place as a team.
It doesn't feel like this can be true.
I think it. I went back, Ben. I tried to find it, and I really had a hard time. So the one thing I thought about was it only impacted the margin of victory for Ohio State, but I firmly believe Hunter Stever would have won 149 if he was
there you
healthy in 2015. That was the How to Shout Habit year. And he had 0 elbows. He was 0 for elbows that year, and maybe knees. So he did not get to wrestle, or he wrestled, but he was like a shell of what Hunter Stever had been. But they won anyways. Soriano in 17 for sure could have impacted it, but Penn State won 5 titles.
Oh, so you guys are saying, well, but that's hindsight bias. You're looking in the rearview mirror saying this didn't affect it because they won. Yeah. But I guess you didn't necessarily know that going into it, right? I mean, I guess you kind of knew Penn State was going to win 2017, huh?
Well, no, man, you have to know that's hindsight bias, because coming into that, Oklahoma State they balled out at Big 12s. They had
that's true.
They lost 2 matches the entire tournament.
They lost 2 matches at Big 12s, and they ended up having a strong performance. They had 8 All-Americans and a champ that year. Just Penn State with 5 champs. What can you do?
Now, that was the Colica injury.
Colica and Schaefer. Colica injury and Schaefer got upset.
Sure.
So we debunked it, right?
Well,
Soriano, 2017.
Nick Soriano, 2017. Well, hold on. This is losing a national champion is bigger than what Nick Soriano maybe would.
He was ranked 2.
Yeah, he was ranked number 2.
2.
He was. I think he got.
He was 2 behind Gil. He was a 3 seed because he defaulted out of Big Tens. But I think we had him ranked 2nd behind Thomas Gilman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And remember, another way that impacted the team race was Piccinini didn't get to bounce down to the bottom side because they did not pull Nick Soriano until right up till, and they couldn't redraw brackets. It
was strategic.
Oh, 1,000%, 1,000%. But hey, that's they used the rules to their advantage. I don't fault them for it. They're out thinking. Now, so I will say that he's probably right. This is the biggest injury affecting a team title race in at least a decade. He put a lot of context around that, but I think it's probably true. He's learned his lesson. He's nothing if not evolving.
I spent a while going back and looking through last night.
He was really digging deep. I was thinking out McDonough's injury in 2013. So in 2013, Iowa was way further back than I realized. They were way back because that was the year Gilagayev tried to jump over Tony Nelson, and they could have won that year. Oklahoma State could have won that year. But Bobby Telford got injured super early in 2013 and had to default out. And then that was also the year McDonough lost in the round of 12, and he had umpteen injuries, right? So that impacted it, but if those guys both won, I actually don't think Iowa would have won the title even then. So
wow.
Can't really use those.
Okay, so hey, I wrote off. I made a tweet yesterday. I wrote off Penn State. I said it's a done deal. Iowa's national champions now. You guys agree, disagree? Why do I gotta stop?
You don't have to stop. I can't physically stop you. Believe me. I would try, but I don't think it's over. I really don't.
Really?
I really don't. I mean, certainly, it's edge Iowa. I'm acknowledging that. But I think there's a couple things. Here's how everyone wants to compare do the dual thing and go up and down.
Yeah.
But I look at it a little bit differently. So I take Iowa's number 1 likely scorer versus Penn State's number 1 scorer and go down the list 1 through 10, and I think you'll see it's not as crazy as you might think it would be.
Well, but why don't you just do total points? Because I mean, I was thinking that Penn State was going to plug in Shaq or Beard anyways. Cannell was not having a great season. So I kind of already accounted for those points at 97. I would say if Shaq's in, it's probably somewhere, I don't know, 10 to 15. Could it be more? Yes. Could it be less? Yes, of course. But somewhere in that middle range. Beard is not going to score that many points. And then at heavyweight, Kassar is he's at 20 to 25 down to Seth Neville's going to score 3.
I don't know, man. So that's one thing. One, Neville's is pretty good. He beat Yusuf Hamida last year.
Okay,
he's had
that's a win.
Yeah, he's been a really solid guy. He's been in that room. He's had great training partners. I think if you're writing him off as a 1 to 2 win guy, I think Gannon Grimmel's number 10 right now.
I'm going to look him up now, make sure I'm not missing any losses.
I do think heavyweight's deep, but it lost Kassar. Is he in that Hilger, Stencil That may be a reach. What?
It's just funny
Let's
to
see.
say they lost Kassar because that's like his teammate.
Right.
So
But I'm just saying,
and that's
when you look at the rankings.
but it also gains Gable back.
Right. Gable's in there. He will beat Seth Neville's and all these guys. But I think.
Wow, I guess CP. Maybe I am underestimating Seth Neville's. I didn't realize he only lost one match last year, which was Demetrius Thomas.
Who's good?
He was good. He hasn't really had a close match this year. Yeah, I guess I'm pretty impressed by the results. That being said, I don't know that even if he takes, say, 7th place, which I think that would be, you'd consider that a success.
Yes.
He takes 7th place. How many points is that? 8, 9,
Yeah.
maybe?
Around that. Yeah.
Not a lot.
But
Ooh, I don't know. He's got to beat Jordan Wood, Tanner Orndorff, Tanner Hall, Trent Hilger.
they're
Ooh,
good.
That's tough.
It's
They're
tough.
good.
It's tough. So a couple of things. Well, I don't know. Do you want to play my little game, Ben, where you kind of take the
Yeah,
number
okay,
one?
let's figure it
All
out.
right, so the number 1 Iowa score versus number 1 Penn State score. I had that Spencer Lee versus Mark Hall. Okay.
Good. Great.
Edge Spencer.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
But by 2 to 3 points maybe.
Yeah, a couple.
Okay. Slight edge. Number 2, Alex Marinelli versus Vincenzo Joseph, which is literally the same weight. So how do you think that's going to go? Historically, Bull has beaten him, but at the NCAA tournament, Vincenzo Joseph has shown up, and that's what we're talking about. So I would
Yes.
say this is Edge Chenzo here, despite the head-to-head issue.
I would say coin flipper Edge Chenzo. Yeah, sure. I agree.
Okay. All right, next up, and these are approximate, right? But I
Sure,
said
yeah.
Austin DeSanto versus Nick Lee. I think Nick Lee's going to win.
Santo.
I think Nick Lee's going to win a title. I don't know if Austin
do?
DeSanto's. I think Nick Lee's second at worst.
You guys have him ranked 4th right now.
Yeah, I'm not
FYI.
worried. Yeah,
That's your rankings.
You have DeSanto over Kemmerer?
Well,
I feel like Kemmerer is a very most
Oh.
likely solid number 2.
Well, that's what I just said. I just said you could say Kimmer over DeSanto, but DeSanto literally was ranked number 1 this year.
Fair.
He has a win over the number 1 this year. I do think, I think he's more bonus. I think he's been more tested this year. We haven't seen Kimmer wrestle
4 matches.
4 matches against maybe one ranked
Marcus
guy?
Coleman.
Ranked
only
guy.
one.
The only ranked guy he's faced.
Right. This will be his first big
I got
test against
DeSanto.
Letty.
Yeah. So you have DeSanto. You say Edge DeSanto. I say Edge Lee in that scenario.
Okay, fair enough.
Slight. It's very slight right now, right? And it's very slight in the spaces where you score the most points, in the places that matter the most. Okay, Michael Kimmer versus Shakur Rashid. I would say that's Edge Kimmer,
Yeah.
but Shakur is in a weaker weight.
Let's not speculate though. You haven't seen Shakur at this weight in 2 years.
Okay, and we've never really seen Kimmer at 174. He's never wrestled anyone at 174.
97's bad. I'm looking at the rankings right now.
All right,
Ugh.
so it's not it's
Rough.
so there's a case. It's a slight edge for
Okay.
Kimmer. In
I feel like Penn
points.
State's going to drop off here in a second, and I was
It
going to keep
happens,
going though.
but it's not as
Okay,
okay.
that's-
We're gonna keep going.
Go.
Pat Lugo versus
Go.
Aaron Brooks. I put Brooks over RBY. Maybe that was stupid. Was that dumb?
That was dumb. Go,
Yeah.
go RBY.
All right, flip them real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lugo versus RBY.
Ooh.
I like
I
that
would've-
you
I would've said
immediately
R-
realized that was a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have said
I fixed it.
RBY before the season, and now I'm questioning. I could also see, man, Lugo's ranked number 1, and I could see him winning. I could also see him all the way down there and say 7th, 8th place. That wouldn't be shocking.
Well, and that's the variance we've seen in Lugo's performances historically. We haven't seen that
Not
this
this
year
year.
at this point.
I would argue that we've never seen him jump into the 1 through 3. Like he has never been in the like finals, big time beating guys. He always kind of has been in the 4 to 6 range and then dropped into the like 7 to 11 range.
No, man. Wouldn't you say the 1 through 3 was really good? Isn't there this year? So I mean,
Yes.
obviously last year was Ashnault, Jordan. They're not there this year.
Ashnault, Jordan were the 1 and 2. That was my thought. And Koladzik's not there. So
Klozik's not there.
that's why that was my
Dude,
thought.
why doesn't Penn State unredshirt Princeton unredshirt Kolodzik? They could have freaking a top 5 performance.
I don't know. I don't understand. This is his second deferred year. That doesn't make sense.
You should tell them we have a plan.
No, Joe DeBusey just yell at me again.
But they got Brukey's gonna place high. Glory's gonna place high. You could get Kolodzik in there. You could possibly get Quincy Mundy in there.
D'Angelo's good.
D'Angelo's good. I mean,
they have Stefanik and Keller or point scorer type of dudes. No, they're good.
They could finish fairly high. Like the highest Princeton's finished in my memory, at least.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess they're thinking all those guys will be back next year too.
Okay, fair enough.
So
all right, let's keep going. Penn State, Iowa. Come on.
So Lugo versus RBY. This is close, guys. I mean, in terms of like what could happen, this is close. Now, I will say Lugo, in my mind, has the higher upside. I don't think RBY can win this way, and I think that Lugo can. So for that reason, I'll say edge Lugo.
But
I agree.
I think RBY, if he's on the right side, can make the finals.
Yes. I would say,
really?
And I'll say this.
Yeah, if he gets to Santo in the semis, it got much significantly closer the second time around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I'll say this, Ben. Lugo has the higher ceiling, but to me, RBY has the lower floor. Because I could see Lugo, 149 is really deep with high caliber guys. You got Brayton Lee and Sammy Sasso.
He's literally lost multiple times to the 8th ranked wrestler Jared Deegan.
Yes. So for that reason, it's close, right? So that's our first 5. Okay. So you're saying edge Lugo, and that's fine. I think that makes sense. Then here's where it gets tougher: Cassiope versus Brooks. I feel like Cassiope is like second, third.
Cassiope. Yeah, I got Cassiope for sure.
And a pinner.
Well, yeah.
Tony Cassiope is exactly the kind of guy that'll get a pin in
he'll get about
the
2
first
pins
round. He'll get a pin when he gets sent down to the backside. Like that's exactly the kind of guy he is. We think Aaron Brooks can be that guy.
He's gonna flex on you. He's gonna flex on you.
Maybe he does make it to the backside, but
he did.
But then he's in the finals, and then then the point scoring is even higher. We think Aaron Brooks can be that guy. We just
he has 3 pins against I don't think a single NCAA qualifier this year. Okay. I'm not convinced he's. I think he's a big point scorer. I think he's really good. I think he's my pick to make the finals right now. But I'm not putting him in there as this a major bonus point scorer yet.
Hold on. If he's your pick to make the finals, why is he behind Lugo then? As point scorer, you know what I mean?
Okay, like I said,
Christian thinks Iowa's got 6 finalists.
I don't know. Lugo could.
If you're saying Lugo's floor is 8th.
Well, he's literally ranked number 1 right now. It felt odd to have him much lower.
I hear you, but this is your perception.
Yeah. It was like I did it in 2 seconds. I don't think it's super important who's where, right? Cassiope versus Brooks.
I got Cassiope over Brooks for sure.
Yep.
I think Brooks with that weight class right there, Brooks is gonna have a hard time scoring too many points. I think.
Yeah. I do. Him getting pulled makes me think they've seen some really good stuff. I think I'm super high on Brooks. It may not be his year this year to place top 4, but man, it's a conversation.
I know. Yeah, I agree, but it is just such a if you look 7 up, that is really good and really deep.
It's really good. Yes.
But listen, they shake hands. Hunter Bolin and Aaron Brooks are wrestling right now. Trent Hidley and Aaron Brooks are wrestling right now. I'm not that's the number 2 and 3 guys right now.
He has head-to-heads over Trent. Like that. Like
he's beating Trent Hidley.
Yeah, it's not out of now. It wasn't
freestyle.
It wasn't freestyle.
Freestyle. But that's the big thing. I mean, he lost to guys who weren't that. He lost to Ryan Christensen, who was ranked, mid-teens last year. Mm-hmm. He had that really close match with Ben Harvey. He just hasn't been the same guy in folk style that he is in freestyle. And so until he's that guy, I'm going to withhold opinion. I mean, I'm sure they've seen great things, but man, until he does anything at the folk style collegiate level, I'm going to wait.
Okay. Well, you wait. Young versus Berge. This in perception wise, people may write off Brady. versus Young, I think this is a 1-point match.
Yeah.
I think this is.
You got me second guessing myself now, Christian.
That's why I did this. I think
I
it's
came in today's show with no chance that Penn State was going to win the NCAAs, and now you're making me question myself.
And I haven't even got to my final point yet, but So Young versus Berge, Edge Young, but
Young, yes.
I think Brady's is gonna be in the mix there for sure. I think Brady's a super talent. I think coming into this year, that's a pretty close match. Young finished the season strong, but Brady's at the optimal weight. We haven't seen him much because of the concussion at U23s.
One time. He beat Josh Humphreys.
How bad was that?
5-3.
Solid win.
Solid win over solid guy. And that's you know what? If Caleb Young's wrestling Josh Humphreys, it's probably
If Berge wrestles this weekend, we'll get a better feel because he'll have Barone Friday night and then Deacon Sunday.
hello.
Yes.
So
That'd be nice.
Welcome back.
welcome back. So we're going Edge Young there.
Yes.
Then Jacob Warner versus Seth Nevels. Now, Edge Warner, sure. However,
Yeah, Edge Warner.
we've seen there's a world where they both get 7th. Is there not?
That feels awkward. Doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right.
What doesn't feel right about it? What feels so wrong?
It's saying they're equal. Saying that I don't feel as though Jacob Warner and Seth Nevels are equal, and you're saying they're equal, and that's making me feel awkward.
I'm not saying they're equal. I'm saying there's a world where they both end up in a pretty approximate situation.
Equal position.
Yeah.
Well, they were both approximately maybe like right outside blue chipper realm in high school, right? Like super high level blue chipper.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Warner was a blue chipper for sure. I mean, Cadet World team member. Yeah, I feel like Warner was definitely.
Warner was a bigger recruit, unquestionably.
Really?
In my mind, yeah.
Nevels was a top 10 guy in his class, lost one time in high school.
And has, I think, California pin record.
But I felt, but if you looked at Neville's wins in high school versus Warner was beating like Michael Beard and
yes.
But
Neville's wasn't facing that level of competition.
he also wasn't doing
Fair.
freestyle the same way Warner was.
Yeah,
That's,
that's where when
good-
you wrestle
good
in
point.
California, and you don't go to Super 32 or whatever. Not that going to Super 32 heavyweight really means all that much normally, but
Ouch.
they're all playing football.
No, it is. It
Yeah,
is.
true.
It's October.
I think that's what Nevels did too, right? He was playing football.
Yeah.
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 So, for that reason, I think Warner was a bigger recruit. Now, okay, so Edge Warner.
Warner. Is someone keeping tally of what our score is? I don't know. I don't remember how many
Yes.
edges to who.
I've got
We've
edges.
got tallies.
Yeah, Bracky's got the Edge report. If you're in the doc, you can see that the real
Oh
time
my
results.
gosh! I'm an amateur. I didn't open my doc.
It's okay.
There we go.
buddy.
Okay,
it's okay.
It's only my second show. I will not be new very long. Okay, I got it open.
Okay, Max Murin versus Jared for Claren. Definitely an Edge Murin, but I think we're talking about. I think we could be talking about a difference in two.
Good
2
God!
points.
I opened this doc, Christian. You got about 47 questions on here.
Yeah.
Do I?
Questions from friends.
Oh,
my
yeah,
God.
don't worry about that.
We're going to be talking until 7 p.m. about questions from friends.
We never answer them all. I just put in a bunch and then,
You guys are going to miss lunch.
Dude, I wish I missed lunch yesterday. We had the worst chili ever. I wish they got Wendy's chili. That would have been so much better.
Yes.
On chili, yeah.
Hey, get this, Ben. So Michael Sears, the grappling guy, was like, he texted me last night. He's like, it's kind of BS. They had that horrible chili on the day Askren was here. He was like embarrassed that they served that. I was like, don't worry. Ben was napping. He missed our terrible lunch. Normally it's pretty good, but every once in a while you get horrible. Cafeteria chili is better than whatever that was.
On chili day, the bathroom stalls become bookable rooms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
I think you're discrediting Murin a little bit
Yeah, very possible.
because he has multiple good wins. He's made the quarterfinals before. He just won Midlands. And I know you could say that wasn't exactly a super star-studded Midlands field, but like you beat Josh Howell, you have multiple wins over Tristan Moran, multiple wins over guys like Mikey Carr.
He was in the blood round last year.
Yeah.
I think he's going to outscore. I think he'll outscore.
And I just
Jared
don't.
McLaren.
Yeah, I just don't know that we've seen that from.
But
But
we
that's
totally haven't.
I know.
Obviously.
I'm just saying, like, that's how I kind of feel about how every single one of the things you're talking about is like, there's so many leans. Iowa. Basically, the reason Penn State has persistently won, right, is like NCAA's is this whatever 1,600 match thing, and so the more matches you have, the more it's going to tip to this team. And for the first time in a long time, it's Iowa. There's a lot more like ifs and buts that need to happen for Penn State than Iowa, like a lot more this particular year.
Yes.
Yeah, no disputing it, but I'm just not ready to end this team race. Like Ben Askren,
we did 7-3. It looks like it's ended.
It's not ended. All right, because we've got Wilkie versus Meredith bringing it home. So
Meredith's in the
Wilkie,
rankings.
But two ranked
Is he
guys.
really?
Yeah, he snuck in at 24 because he beat Kolioko.
Oh, wow.
So-
Hey, can I tell you guys something that blows my mind? I'm sorry that I have ADHD. Penn State, I mean, we discussed this at length yesterday, not on the show, off the show, how I think Penn State develops guys next level. They're amazing, right? How come they can't figure out how to make someone that's 125 pounds wrestle good? It's mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing. Like, you guys are taking guys to the next planet, and you can't get a 125-pounder in there.
I think it's just one of those things.
I have a theory.
They would still have Soriano if Soriano didn't leave. So that was the plan. And then it was okay. Well, they have Robbie Howard coming. I think that's going to work just fine if he's a 25, which I think he is.
Yeah.
He needs to be a 25 pounder.
But how long is it, Christian? When's the last time Penn State had a consistently good 125? Was it Nico?
Nico, yeah.
Yeah, but how many years ago was that?
That was
7?
26. He won a title in 2016.
No, it's got to be longer ago than that.
That's what happened, Ben.
It was
He won a title in
Are you sure?
2016. He beat Gilman in NCAA finals at Madison Square Garden.
That was 4 years ago now.
Nico feels so old. Nico feels so old right now.
Yes, exactly. It was 4 years ago. That's the 4-year hole that Nick Soriano was supposed to occupy. Okay, so I don't know.
I also do. So, yes to the Soriano thing. Also, if you're talking about something that Kale's really good at, which is like identifying guys who can score points and like meet or exceed kind of where they are recruiting wise, 125 is a tremendously hard weight to recruit for. And he may just be like,
why? You're saying because guys grow up? Guys get bigger?
because guys grow up, because they're cutting a lot of weight, because they just beat the hell out of each other for years and years and years and years. And he's like, you know what? I'm focusing on like 41 and up.
Well, also,
Come on.
Because it's easier. It's easier.
It's
like a better use of his time.
That's not what's happening. Because the
It is.
That's not what happened. No,
Well,
man.
I understand the Soriano thing, but
No.
but then why haven't they done anything since then?
Listen,
you see what I'm saying?
They went the Iowa versus Penn State battle for Brody Teske was insane, and you know that. They both thought Teske was a big time difference maker.
Mm-hmm.
So they got Brody Teske, and it hasn't worked out yet. He's only a freshman right now. I think, and another thing that makes 25 difficult is everyone saw Brody Teske. Oh, life for 25. Then he got big. He apparently got big, and I don't know if the cut is easy for him or not. But Kale Sanderson is not. Listen, that is like, you know nothing about Kale if you think he's gonna throw his hands up at a weight and say,
I'm not saying he's throwing his hands up.
But his actions have not even aligned with what he's doing because he worked so hard to get Brody Teske, and then after he got Brody Teske, he recruited on top of him by getting Robbie Howard. And then before that, they were getting RBY and Gavin Teasdale. This dude has been trying to stockpile lightweights. The plan was for Teasdale to go 25 last year. It's just not what happened.
Okay.
All right. So, sorry.
Last thing, all those guys have. Yes, you're right. Last thing, though, all those guys have outgrown 25.
Yeah.
Robbie Howard will maybe at best be 1 year 125.
And then you can try to get a 25, and you end up, all right, well, I know this guy will make it. It's Malik Heinzelman, but Malik's too small. So it's really hard to thread the needle
How
there.
many people are actually too small for 125, Nomad?
Well, I'll say Malik is. I think Malik
How many?
is.
Maybe Malik.
I think Malik has super skills, but.
Maybe Malik. We just did 2020 Big Board last night. We had one single
Definitely
discussion
Kurt
about a kid.
McHenry.
who's
Kurt
too small.
McHenry.
Yeah, what about Kurt?
Kurt's too small.
So it's essentially, at best, one per year.
Too small.
Too small.
Too small.
Damn. Wow.
Fair point,
How come
but
he
all
can't
those guys
put
still
some size
outgrew
on?
25.
But that has nothing to do with That has nothing to do with
Sure.
your point, which was that Kale's like throwing his hands up and saying, "I'll go 41 and up," because that's preposterous.
I think it is easier to recruit that.
That may be true, but that's not.
I know. But I will concede that he has gone into it. Just he hasn't done it because it's hard.
There you go. Okay.
Too small.
Too small. So Meredith versus Wilkie. Meredith. Now, here's the one thing.
Wait, what you mean? You mean Wilkie? You mean Wilkie?
What did I say?
Meredith.
Meredith versus Meredith.
Speaking of Wilkie, did you
You
hear?
said Meredith.
Sorry.
Did you hear what Coach Tom Brand said yesterday
What did he say?
about 184?
Uh-oh.
It sounds like they've made their decision, and they've told the guys, but he didn't want to say that in the press conference.
They listed all 3 guys though.
Yeah, but I don't know if you heard the clip. He's like, we've talked to all the guys, and we've got our plan. And he's like, I just want to make sure we're all like good to go there.
Now,
Is it like their plan for right now, or is it like their plan for the rest of the year?
The way I took it was the rest of the year.
Wow.
That would be juicy.
now, how much of that do you
That
think?
would be.
Because
And he said this isn't a thing where we're gonna wrestle a young guy just because he's got a lot of wrestling left, or we're gonna wrestle this senior because it's his last year. We're gonna wrestle the guy that we think gives us the best chance to score points.
Yeah.
now, do you think some of that has to do with because like clearly they did this for Spencer, right? They got Spencer some matches because for seeding purposes, right? They're like worried maybe make sure he gets RPI. Do you think it's the same thing because they haven't wrestled a lot of matches and now it's like, okay, we got to make a decision. Number 1 for continuity purposes. Number 2 because we got to make sure we get this qualifying spot and we get this guy the best chance possible to get seed.
They've done the bounce back and forth thing before into Big Ten season. They did it with Gilman and Clark. Gilman got packed by Brancale, and then I don't think he ever saw the lineup again.
Oh, my God.
He won Midlands that year, right?
Yes.
He beat Delgado.
Delgado.
He beat Delgado and I think Gerard Garnett or something like that. He ran a gauntlet to win Midlands and didn't end up starting. So that was crazy. So they've done it before, but I think and I think with those two, you're not concerned about Thomas Gilman or Corey Clark qualifying for NCAAs at Big Ten. It's like if those guys got to steal a spot. But at 84 at Big Ten, I mean, who knows? It could be a little bit tougher for Nelson or for Cash or Abe if they go with Abe. So I can see why they would say.
One of the things that 184 is there's going to be less qualifying. So, I mean, there's a lot of talent outside the Big Ten at 184 pounds, so they're not going to have a gigantic amount of qualifying. So they're not going to have a 10 or 11 or 12, I wouldn't imagine.
Right.
You guys feel the same way?
At 84?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, qualifying and seeding there. Makes sense.
So
it'll be more like a 5-6, and so that's obviously more room to get bumped out.
yeah, the number 1 ranked Big Ten guy in the national rankings is number 6, Taylor Venz, then number 9, Cash Wilkie. So Big Ten sort of, but Brooks is going to get in there.
Yeah.
For
Ron
sure.
Nagel's 11, and Sebastian's 13. I mean, you have some good guys, but you could see some of these guys not getting auto qualifier spots.
I
if
think
the
one of
records aren't good enough.
I think one of our questions from friends was like, is there a scenario where Big Ten gets 0 All-Americans? It seems like it could definitely happen. I probably wouldn't bet on it between Brooks, Venz, and Wilkie. I think one of them places, but
Yeah.
it could happen. Okay, now back to the Penn State versus Iowa thing. One, a lot of the edges.
I thought we all picked Iowa.
We did,
done.
but you forgot the final factor. You're forgetting the final factor, Ben.
Okay, what's that?
This is Penn State. It's in the margins. It's Cale Sanderson.
It's what they do.
You know, Christian, thank you, Breck. He just set himself up for that, and he didn't close it.
That's what they do.
This is Penn State. This is what we do.
So there's two things you can maybe count on. Maybe. One, Iowa is towards the absolute top of where they can achieve from a rankings perspective right now. There's not much room for growth for them. So you could hypothesize some regression back down, albeit slight.
Yeah.
And you could also hypothesize on the other side, Penn State is going to be getting more out of their guys than we've been seeing because historically that is literally what happens, right? So a slight movement up for Penn State, slight movement down for Iowa is an additional factor I don't think you guys is being considered enough strongly. Factor that in with the fact that, it was 7-3. However, we were very close on many of those, right? Many of those.
But I think we were close to going the other way too. I mean, like Chenzo Bull, I could go the other way.
Sure.
RBY Lugo, I could go the other way on that one also. So it also feels like, damn, it could be 9-1 real quick. Who's the other Penn State one?
That's true too. That's true too.
Yeah.
That's the
Wait,
thing.
are you? I think. Oh, Nick Lee. I picked DeSanto. Take my pick back. I'm 8-2 Iowa. I am an Iowa lover. Take
Yes.
that.
How the tables have turned.
So I understand what you're saying, but all the years where Penn State won, they were the favorite going in. So while yes, everything went in their favor, they were also the favorite.
There's also.
This is the first year they've been the underdog.
They lost Big Tens multiple times.
Yeah, they don't care about that.
They do not care about Big Tens.
That's not true.
Well,
it's not true that they don't care about
not
Big
true.
Tens.
Okay,
But
they
listen,
care significantly
hold
less.
on. There
Well,
were
but
some,
the point scoring is different.
Yeah.
I know that.
point
I'm just
score's
saying they
different,
lost
right? Because
wrestling
that is-
contests.
Yeah, but their highs are higher than anyone else's, so it doesn't matter if you had 500 college wrestlers. Their guy's still gonna be number one. But when you have 10 or 11 or 12 versus 33, the difference is larger.
I know that. I'm just
I know
saying.
you know. You're smart.
They lost at Big Tens. It's happened before. It's not. Listen,
I want to give it context.
the Penn State. If I gave context, if Alan Galagayev didn't try to jump over Tony Nelson, they would have won right then. Oklahoma State would have beat them. If the Dardanes had been a fraction of the Dardanes, they would have won in 2014. So that's 2 years they
I
would
think if
have.
just one of them would have placed.
If one of them places, they win.
Yeah, that's crazy.
If Miles Martin finishes that double leg and doesn't get pinned, there's 3. So it's been in the balance before. 1, 2. Shoot, I forgot 2. Go, Nomad.
I
I'll come
just
back
keep
to
coming
2.
back to the same thing. It has been in the balance, but how many times have they not been the favorite?
I remember my 2. Number 2. Anytime they've tried to win, they've won.
Let me hit you with some
One year they
numbers.
didn't win. They did not try to win. The 1 year they did not win, they had Nico Megaludis, Zane Rutherford, Jason Alf, Bo Nickel, Nick Nevels all on the bench.
Let me hit you with some numbers right now.
Hit me hard.
All right. So you mentioned Iowa could have some regression in terms of the ranking. Maybe Penn State jumps a little bit, right? Right now, if you project the team total based on ranking, Iowa is supposed to score 135.5. Penn State, 74.
Dang!
So-
I told you it was over.
The biggest issues there are at 97, where Rashid is going to be ranked like 10 or 11-ish. He's an All-American coming back, but he's going to probably fall somewhere around the Darmstadt range. This is according to Andrew Spey, the
Hodge
ranker.
Trophy.
So yeah, close to the Hodge Trophy. But unfortunately, this year that's only going to score you 3 points.
You're crazy.
No, that's where he's going to sit at the rankings coming in. So Rashid has a big opportunity to jump there, and then Nevels is going to come in, not scoring many points either. So that's where that 74 number could definitely jump up. And also Brooks is
And Aaron Brooks is not ranked.
yeah, he's ranked I think 24th, 25th. So he's supposed to score like
25.
between 0 and half a point.
See.
So there's definitely room to grow, but 135.5 to 74 feels like quite a margin.
Hey, I want you to crunch this number real quick. Who's ranked number 2 at 197?
Yeah, you're right. He's
Just
got
say
a
his
win.
name.
He's got a win over Bruner.
By major decision.
Rashid has a win over Bruner.
He majored number 2.
We also don't know if Shakur's
He lost to
healthy.
Darmstadt.
Yeah, I know. Darmstadt's the GOAT. What do you want?
But what is he ranked now?
These aren't my rankings.
This,
I don't.
this is
He
ridiculous.
Oh, you're going to poo-poo him?
Yeah.
You and Spey work on him together.
No, not anymore.
Move him up.
Then take your name off him.
He puts my name on there. I don't put it on there.
Wow.
Oh, hell. Yeah.
Wow.
I'd put Darmstadt should be higher. No, the rankings
Yeah,
are fine.
Darmstadt higher.
What is Shakur going to be, though?
He's going to be
197.
We all want him to be healthy, but we have no idea if he is.
I know. I think they're bringing him. I think they know what they've got there, and they're not like, why am I going to send him out here against Lehigh? Let's let him go when he's got to go.
Do we
It's coming off of major knee surgery in March.
Right. That was going to ask. So we think that knee surgery happened pretty quickly after NCAA's. Because he didn't wrestle freestyle, so it wouldn't really make sense to delay it much, right?
I'm assuming.
So that puts him at We're 9 months on, so this is about the time he should be coming back.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have a good idea.
His biggest test this weekend would be Lucas Davidson
Yeah.
on Sunday.
Great preparation for Darmstadt lengthwise.
Yeah, but not stylistically.
I know.
Okay.
When's the first time Shakur wrestled someone really high level?
Hang on.
He'd hit Warner January 31st, so that's the absolute
yeah.
latest.
Yeah, go on.
Schultz on the 24th, and then
Nice.
Warner on the 31st.
Yeah.
I would say would be the two.
He's really not. He'll hit Colin Moore
15th.
February 15th. So the
Yeah,
day
that's
after
about-
Valentine's.
That's about it.
Yeah. So he's going to be like, he's going to have a really small record. He's going to have to steal a spot going into Big Tens, I'm sure. But
Jeez.
197, I think, is pretty rich. Well, it's
Well.
good at every weight. But they have 197 has 1, 2, 3, number.
In all likelihood, he will not have to steal a spot.
Really? You think he'll earn one?
So if he wrestles in every duel, this is assuming a level of health that we're not sure. But if he wrestles in every single duel, he'll have 10 matches. You need 8 matches for win percentage, and you need 5 matches for coaches ranking.
Okay.
And you only need 2 out of 3.
Wow.
Because he's not going to have an RPI, but you only need 2 out of 3 to get the qualifying spot. So he shouldn't steal a spot. But, again,
Okay.
I hope Shakur is fully healthy and is kicking butt because I want this team race to be good. It's a little
I think everyone's-
unnerving to not know.
I think everyone wants to write it off. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet.
I don't think it's the right time to write it off, but it definitely is worth mentioning that if Penn State overcomes this deficit, it's a massive feat.
Yeah, it's like
They're never going to lose again.
Yes, yeah.
I said that last year. When Nolf beat Hidley, I was like, they will never lose ever again. The sun will set when Kale retires.
Man.
And
Damn.
Then he'll hand it off
and
to
I
his
was
son.
like, hold my beer.
Yeah,
Watch this.
I was they got a squad.
The thing is, people were bringing this up too. The next year is the real tough one for Penn State.
Yeah, because they lose Chenzo, Hall,
Kassar, which I know they just
Kassar.
lost, but
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's gonna be painful.
Hey, people are losing their minds on social media. Can Kassar get another year? Is that even possible?
Yes.
he should not.
Well,
Another
he's not,
one.
Yes,
he's not
you're
going
right,
to take
yeah.
it. He was granted 2.
2, yes.
Yeah.
But could he get another one?
So 2 more years.
Yes.
We're entering the Tanner Hall zone minus the mission, which is rarely achieved. I think he has no interest in it. I don't think he would get another one. I think he would, but he technically could wrestle next year.
You guys want to know how old Tanner Hall is?
How
Oh,
old?
we know.
28.
I took him on a recruiting trip at Arizona State.
Oh my
That's how old
god!
he is. I haven't been there since April of 2010. Holy
Golly.
crap!
Were you there?
Seriously,
So you weren't there for the Robles Jenkins year?
I was. Yeah, I left right
Oh,
after
okay.
that.
Oh,
Yeah, right. So
That was
April,
11.
That was.
That
Oh,
was
I'm sorry.
2011.
April of 11. April of 11. My bad.
All right,
missed
got
the
it.
year.
So you said, okay, we'll take him to new heights, and then I'm out. What was coaching
I think
Bubba
it's like-
Jenkins like?
Oh man, him and Brian Stiff were really close. So
Okay.
Brian Stiff was really close with both Robles and Jenkins. So he handled that quite a bit, and he had great relationships with those guys.
Hey, Stiff's from Virginia too, just like
Yeah,
Bubba.
yeah.
Hey, Ben, I have a
absolutely.
question. So, Kassar, no, this is I think it's a good one for Ben. So, Kassar, multiple terrible, horrible shoulder injuries, supposedly wants to go MMA route. Should probably not
I
wrestle very
think
much
that's
anymore.
way better.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
asking. Way better
go
for
pro.
him body wise, right?
Well, I just think on your shoulders too. Wrestling is I think one of the hardest activities you can ever have on your shoulders. I mean, between getting half Nelson, getting barred, being stretched out on shots. I mean, I can't even touch my own neck anymore on this side because my elbow, my shoulder are so bad. Yeah, there's not very many harder activities on your shoulders than wrestling. So Kassar, get going to fighting already. Be done with it.
Do you think he'll be good?
Absolutely, he'll be awesome. If he stays healthy, he'll be awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, he's
Good
gonna
for
be
him.
fantastic.
What about Bo? You think Bo will be good too?
Oh, Bo's gonna be so good. You kidding
Really?
me? Oh yeah.
So how
yeah.
how do you do you just think good wrestler, good fighter? What do you see in a wrestler that makes you like just immediately know they're gonna be good?
Well, 205 is obviously a weaker division, which he could go 185 or 205. I guess 85 is a tougher division. 205 is a little weaker. But so number one, he's a fast learner. We've seen how much he's continued to improve at Penn State. He's dynamic. I think one of the biggest things is when a guy who is mainly a defensive wrestler goes into MMA and they're not used to going to get takedowns and winning scrambles. That can be a challenge. But I mean, Bo is so dynamic. He has so many ways to take you down, and he's so comfortable in scrambles. So he's going to pick up the jiu-jitsu really fast. So he's just going to be all over people. If he figures out how to move his feet and close distance, oh man, he's going to smash people.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Scuffle.
Scuffle. Actually,
Scuffle. What's this big news out? I want to hear this.
You're not gonna like it.
Uh-oh.
You're gonna feel like it's too much an over tease, but I'm standing by it. I think we're gonna have a Joey Silva sighting.
What? Come
this
on.
Friday at 133 pounds.
You guys have been talking about him forever. He won't show up to a match.
Listen, I never said he was going to wrestle a match all year until now. I think he's wrestling against Michigan State, 133.
Okay.
This is a guy with wins.
Can he beat number 25 Garrett Pepple?
Can he beat Deborah Pepple? This is a great first test for Joey Silva. Listen, this is a guy who beat DeSanto multiple times. He's beaten RBY, beat Real Woods. Yeah. He's good. He's really good.
So where has he been so far? Why hasn't he been on there?
School stuff.
Oh, so he's got bad grades? Is that what we're saying?
I don't know. Something. It's just academics was all that was said basically by Coach Borman.
Academics. So he got bad grades.
Yeah.
Joey, do your schoolwork.
Well,
you don't even know what GPA I would have had at Michigan. It'd be a scary scene. So
not necessarily bad grades. Just, I mean.
Well, probably that's what it means.
Come on.
Not good ones.
I'm just saying.
He got a 4.0 and have issues.
Fair enough.
He won't stop studying.
It's a hard school.
All right. Yeah, very hard school.
He's a Michigan man.
He's a Michigan man. He's gonna figure
I'll
it out.
always respect that.
Kyle and I secretly wish we were Michigan men sometimes.
It's pretty cool.
It'd be pretty cool to say you're Michigan man.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It's just to be able to say that. I think that's the main reason.
Yeah.
Like the Michigan coaches are like just the classy guys. They're true Michigan men through and through. Anyway,
that's not big news. I'm so disappointed. I thought it was maybe someone was coming out of a red shirt or
he was watching.
I don't know.
Before the show, he was watching just Joey Silva matches over and over. It was like it was a Joey Silva highlight reel.
I was getting pumped, man. You know, if you listen to the show, you know I'm a big Silva guy. You know that's big news to me.
He had to go back 3 years to watch the matches.
3 years?
What country can Battaglia wrestle for? This got to be somewhere for him. Come on. You know, he's got the tan. He can fit in somewhere.
Yeah.
You tell me Miles Amin's got a country, Stevan Michik's got a country, and you can't find a country for my man Alec Pantaleo?
Yeah, I found one. It's the United States of America. Rep the set.
Get out of here.
Red, white, and blue.
He ain't making the team.
Well, no. That's true. Yes, accurate. Okay. But he has made teams before. He made junior world team. That's not easily done. All right, Southern Scuffle time. We'll start at the smallest weight because that just makes sense to me. Nick Piccinini, the story of this
actually, can I comment here,
please
Christian?
comment. Yeah.
Okay, this is, I have done other podcasts, and one thing I know I do frequently, we talk too much in the beginning, so by the time we get to like 84, 97 heavyweight, we're like, oh man, we have like 7 minutes left, and we go bam, bam, bam. So frequently, we start at heavyweight first to even it up, right? So the heavyweights get some love sometimes too, and then sometimes the 25-pounders only get a couple minutes.
Well, in this case, the heavyweights are Dalton Robertson and Gannon Grimmel. So I'm
okay. Don't give him any time.
Well, what's there to say? He was too small. Dalton Robertson beat Demetrius Thomas.
No, shout out Dalton Robertson. He's really good on top.
Yeah.
And he called his own shot in the semis against Demetrius Thomas and chose top, and then immediately turned him.
Yes.
And then rode him out and won the match.
Nice.
He's been impressive this year. And then I guess the other story of heavyweight is Brandon Metz.
He kind of It's a big story.
His offense is going to his own back and then rolling the guy through and pinning him. Oh, he's really good at it.
He did it twice. It was unbelievable. When he did it once, we were like, oh my gosh. Because we kind of always watch Brandon Metz matches just as a thing. And then he does it again in an even more improbable fashion. The one, it was kind of like the bounce off the back and he just rolled him through, took the momentum. The other one, he was like literally fighting off his back.
For a good 30 seconds.
Yeah, and then he goes, woof, and he pins the guy. It's kind of amazing, actually.
So, you always need those guys, though, right? Like the just high entertainment for little to no reason other than, okay, I got to watch this guy. They're the Flow Arena Alerts guys.
See, this is what happens. We end up starting at heavyweight, and we do a Brandon Metz deep dive instead
That's
of talking
all right.
about Pitch Latona.
No, we'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll work our way down. I don't care. 197. Noah Adams, Coal City, West Virginia, takes out Nathan Traxler in a what I wrote as a weird one with a
Weird.
What was that?
This is Nathan Traxler for you. This is Nathan Traxler for you. He does some fantastic things. He looks great, and then you're like, what was that? The man Graham beat on a half Dallas. I'm yelling at a fifth grader if that happens.
I know. He freaked out that he got taken down and just started rolling. The takedown was like crazy and weird. It's like, all right, just get away, man. And then he rolled with a half and got pin slayed.
Well, Adams turned him before that too. Right there on the edge.
That was weird too, though. But that was a really weird situation also.
Wait, I thought it was from the scramble.
No, they went out of bounds. They went over to the edge of the mat, and Adams just kind of like tilted him up a little bit, and then they came back to the middle, and that's when he did the roll.
Yeah, whoopsies. So the roll didn't work, and Traxler won a weird one over Beard. Beard came out, got the first. I think he got the first takedown. Maybe I'm missing.
Traxler got the takedown, and then Beard got takedown and a reversal and near fall.
Yeah, and it was 6-2, and Beard's looking good, and then Beard couldn't hang on. Traxler ended up coming back. Looked pretty good. Beard did get really tired, I thought.
Traxler rode him out after the takedown in 30. Rode him out the entire time.
Sam Herring was like, so I try to be sort of like a little diplomatic when guys are like sort of clearly tired and gassing, and Sam just like, Beard's totally gassed right now. He's exhausted. He's done. It's like, it was kind of funny. I was like, yeah, okay. Gear lost to
Beard.
Wait,
and Laird.
And Laird.
Can you guys tell me who this Ethan Laird is? Because
you know who he is.
I don't.
You love
I
Ethan
need to be
Laird.
informed. I need to be informed. I've never heard of the guy in my life. When I saw the name, like I've usually generally heard of a name like, oh, I remember that guy. He was from New Jersey or Pennsylvania. I saw him at Super 32. I've never heard of this dude in my life.
All right, someone tell us about Ethan Laird for Ethan Laird Trivia Day. No one knows anything about him.
It's good.
I'm Googling.
He's got wins this year over Gear, Beard, Carenti, and then the loss to Adams. He was, I think, round of 16.
Beard, he beat Beard also?
Yep.
He goes a rider.
Yes.
That's in New Jersey.
He has a sweet team pick.
Yeah, where he's wearing a...
Looks like a wide receiver.
Oh, dang, yeah,
Waterford,
nice.
PA.
Rider University is in Lawrence Township, New Jersey.
He is General McLean's all-time career wins leader.
It has a graduation rate of 63%. Okay, that's enough Ethan Laird trivia for today. Tomorrow we'll have some more. That was 97, basically. 84 was...
You guys remember?
Yeah.
One of the funniest segments I ever listened to was when Willie said to every person on every roster in all of P1.
He literally believed that.
Segment. What? How could that even possible?
He's like, I'll know something about every single one. And we immediately like, all right, we were stumping him with the Oklahoma State guys. That was all time.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny.
That was funny. So, all right, 84. Dupre smashes Bonacorsi. Smash burgers.
I don't think it was that bad. I mean, okay, I realized what the score was, but there was the one. It was a essentially takedown to Turk for 6 points, and that was obviously 6 of the 10 points. So within one sequence, you have majority of the points. I mean, I guess it's Bonacorsi didn't come close to scoring, but
that was it for me. Bonacorsi gets in on everyone's legs, and he was never close to scoring.
Guys, Louis Dupre
What?
is like 12-0 against Bonacorsi.
Never lost.
This goes back to like their sophomore year of high school.
I've never seen him beat him like that.
But I'm saying he never loses
he beats
to
him every time.
every single time. It is just like the one guy Nino can't beat. Well, I mean, there's probably other guys too. But like that is a major, major, major hurdle for Nino.
Right. And then Dupre beats Hidley, taking him out, gets the only takedown of the match. And yeah, I'm not.
And that one's gonna be close every time because both
Every
those guys
time.
are so good positionally, and they just don't give too many openings. And neither one are. They're both really solid offensively, but not really dynamic. So that's gonna be like a 3-2, 2-1, 4-3 match. Like I feel like every single time they wrestle.
That's how I expected the duel to go.
Wasn't
Yeah.
that what
Like
the duel
that
was?
final, it was 2-1 in tiebreakers,
Correct.
and
Yeah,
Hadley
yeah.
got the ride out. I the way I like pictured the match going when they wrestled in the duel the first time was how the Scuffle final went.
So,
Hey, you know what else is my favorite? I've been listening to this show for 441 episodes, and now I get to tell you guys what all my favorite segments are.
Yeah.
One of my other favorite segments is when Nomad like visualizes exactly how the match is gonna go.
Yeah.
That's so fantastic. When you walk us through minute by minute of the match, I love that Nomad.
Yeah, we need to bring that for a next big match. Tomorrow, we'll have visualization with Nomad. And,
Chamizo Dake.
Oh,
you gotta
dude.
do it.
okay.
Cool.
He's already thinking.
Close your eyes.
It has to be people that you've watched a whole bunch, you know? You can't just be
Chamizo
like-
Dake.
Yeah, yes, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
All right,
Sweet.
visualization is real. So that was 84, good weight. Lou Dupre makes his mark. 174, not the toughest weight, but a lot of guys in there. And Carter Starocki, basically untouched throughout. He looks
Yeah.
really, really good. Like he's going to
Really good.
come in and contend next year. And there's no...
Yeah.
Joe Smith. What?
Oh, he's terrible. He's terrible. I'm sorry. He's done.
You're going to get us killed, Ben.
Good Lord.
I love John Smith. He's my favorite wrestler, but Joe's just not very good.
Well, he's good,
done.
but he's not as good as he was.
I didn't see
Correct.
that coming to LDLR
Head good.
because Joe looked
What?
pretty good his first match.
Lorenzo De La Riva, a.k.a. LDLR.
Oh, LD. I'm like, who are you guys talking about?
I was making sure I got the second L in there because
Yeah.
sometimes I just say LDR.
We can call that.
I didn't see that coming because Joe looked I thought pretty good his first match.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, this is Joe Smith. And then that happened.
And I was like, oh boy. Not
And
just,
they defaulted out too. Didn't do any of the wrestlebacks. So that's not. That's a good sign that you don't really want to be there when that happens generally.
yeah.
So the other for me, the other story. I mean, Starocki is by far the biggest story of this bracket. I think he's going to be really, really good. I second that. I've been following Chris Foca. We talked about this yesterday. You guys kind of rolled your eyes at me. Hey, he beats Joe Grello. He has some good wins on the backside, but he got tech fall by my man Neil Richards.
Hey,
I
your
watched
man.
that match.
You didn't know Neil Richards?
I didn't know him part of the Scuffle. You're right. He got tech fall
I know.
on some dumps.
Yeah.
But
So
Foca is going to be an integral part of the Cornell lineup in the next couple of years. I feel
Cornell is going to be scary next year and the year after that. They're
Yes.
going to contend for a title next year and the year after that. Foca's going to be good. I think, man, he doesn't look all that big at 74. He's not like super filled out.
Right.
He's not on like the they need to get him on the Lunas train or the Dake train, get him in there, pumping some serious iron. But
Yeah.
he's going to be good. I think Neil Richards, I said this yesterday, like I think he's one of those dudes like has that freaky strength and like probably just like shocked Foca a little bit, and then before you know it, the ball's rolling and it's over.
Yeah.
It's interesting you said the thing about him not being super filled out because he was like 82 in high school, but he never really cut a lot of weight. And then Richards like started his career at 57
Yeah.
and looks huge, right? So
Yes.
I don't know, just Neil kind of came up and I do agree with
It's
Foca.
that
But,
Shenandoah Valley cooking.
but like to Ben's point, man, like Foca. First of all, Foca will take a weird loss like this every once in a while. But second of all, to Ben's point about him being really good, like that's a guy that puts himself in so many wrestling positions that like his memory of, okay, I need to do this next time, I need to do that next time. Like that's why he can potentially make big jumps to be like a legit point scorer for Cornell and NCAAs.
He's going to be good.
Yeah.
For sure. And
good win for
they've
Neil.
had success with that kind of a style of guy too. And also all styles at Cornell. So
Shout out to VMI. They have 2 top 25 guys right now.
let's
That's
go.
awesome.
Absolutely.
Let's go Keydets.
Chris Beck is 25th at 285 too, so that's really cool.
That's awesome. Wish I was still in Virginia sometimes. Wow. So yeah, Staraki's really good, and they're gonna have good symmetry at 174 for the next 4 years there.
I wish they could plug Staroki in somewhere else. Like I wish they could put him down and say,
What did I say?
or maybe a trade.
Synergy.
Oh.
Synergy.
Did I say symmetry?
Yeah, he's very. He has a very symmetrical face, but I don't know what that has to do with wrestling.
It's important. It's more important than you realize.
And I thought you were going like the clean break, like calls the senior, Staraki comes in.
That's synergy.
Yeah.
So I say sometimes I say the wrong words. I'm like Polly Walnuts. He gets pretty close. He gets pretty close.
Staraki also won where, and sometimes you see this, right, where like had that big Fargo and we're like, whoa, this kid's super duper talented. Then got a little too big and wasn't quite the same guy, like 82, and then like he was at a higher Askren weight and now kind of back down at his right weight. So I think that was what like maybe threw us off the scent a little bit for him later in his high school career.
What I was so impressed with was his finishing ability. He was like going 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts on the same attack before he would finally like end up doubling off or getting the finish. Like I just think he's really, really developed right now.
And that's like one of the things Penn State does best, right? Is like get their guys to just attack like crazy. Just always have you on your heels.
Yeah. It's helpful.
And it feels like he's good everywhere too. It feels like he's already good on top. He's already good on bottom, and that's obviously when a kid comes from high school, it's generally speaking, bottom is one of the biggest issues. And sometimes guys can't ride, and he looks like he's good everywhere already. Like if he was at 57 or 49, I'd say
25
Penn State or 25. Shrink that man. Cut a leg off. Yeah, I'd plug him in for sure.
For sure. 65. Griffith 2-1 over schedule on a stall call. 2 stall calls in 4 seconds. I guess.
It's impressive.
It's impressive. It's tough to stall that intensely. But what happened was he got hit for stalling for inactivity and then kind of backed out of bounds, and then there you go. And that was kind of it. I mean, Griffith's really good, but didn't really blow away schedule.
I just watched the stall call on the clip on my computer, and that's one of those that I always hated the edge point, but now I'm like coming around to the stall call on edge rush. Skidgo's hustling. He is hustling, and Griffith forces him out of bounds.
Yeah,
that should not be a stall call.
I said that on the broadcast because, and this is why this rule is actually bad, Ben, because they say that guy's supposed to let him back in, and by definition, Shane Griffith did not let him back in. And if that's what the rule says, then you need to call by the rule. But sometimes they'll say that's stalling on the guy backing out, and sometimes they'll stay and they cannot get on the same page in this, which is why you need to take the rule, ball it up real tight, and light it on fire. It has to go.
Hey, you know what you could do though, with the push out thing in college wrestling, is you could do it so if you have to be all the way out of the cylinder. You know what I'm saying? Like your body has to be all the way out of the circle, not just like 1 foot step or anything. Like because college wrestling, I think one of the cool things is you can keep wrestling. If anything is in balance, you're good to keep wrestling, and I think we can keep that rule. You just got to be all the way out to get the point.
So you got to get both feet out for the step out.
Correct, yeah.
I love it. Mm-hmm. I love it. It should be the rule.
Yeah.
All
Absolutely.
right. So that was 57 basically. 65, Hidley just on another level for these guys.
57.
What did I say?
65.
You went backwards.
If you were someone who knows having a stroke. Jeez, sorry guys. Yeah, so Hidley looks great. Takes out Delavecchia, who's like really tricky dude for a rider. But Hidley's untrickable. You just got to beat him straight up.
Too solid.
Yeah, I agree. Not much of a challenge for Hayden Hidley in this bracket, and unfortunately, there's no other good stories in this bracket. For me, I actually felt like the story of the Scuffle altogether was the freshmen and the redshirts kind of coming out party for a lot of these guys, and it was fun watching some of them make that transition. And this is one of those weight classes where there wasn't really any of those good stories. Even at 65, I know you guys didn't want to talk about, but I was interested. Joe Lee got a big win over Connor Flynn. I thought that was kind of an interesting storyline of how he did. And obviously Shane Griffith is also a freshman. He's really, really, really good. Sorry to stop him when we keep going.
No, you're good. Joe Lee's going to be tough.
Delavecchia has been having a really solid season. Split with Monday, makes the Scuffle finals here. So Talking about when we were talking about 57 yesterday, like that's one of those guys that he can get on the podium here. So cool to see him kind of like not just be like, okay, you got the win over Monday, but kind of continue to do really well this year.
I also thought Wyatt Sheets at least had a pretty good day. He came into the tournament unseeded, ran to the semis, ended up third. He beat 3 NCAA qualifiers. So that's good, and I think a little bit better results than they've seen out of him. And, it was a little bit of a tough performance for Oklahoma State, so to see a bright spot at 57 was good. But he still doesn't seem like a real point scorer right now for them, but at least he seems like he's making improvements.
That was a nice thing for you to say about Oklahoma State, and I might get assassinated twice in one day by John Smith, but Oklahoma State, they might be out of top 10 this year. They're not very good. They're not very good at all. It's unfortunate.
It's going to be tough. Maybe we can talk about them more in a little bit. 149, that is the weight. Jaden Abbas takes out Andrew Alira's crazy final scramble there. Stanford balling out of control right now. They're doing great.
Yes.
I thought Alira's would win this weight. I really do think Abbas is good. I thought Abbas took the match to where it was beneficial to him, and he capitalized on his opportunity. And was that in overtime or the third? It was late. Third period. So I'm impressed with him. Alira's still yet to notch that real ranked win. I think we all think he's probably a top 10-ish type of guy, but
yeah, it's tough because he missed some time and then came back, and then when he came back, it wasn't the field. So he's going to be one that is going to have to get it done at Big 12s probably to get his seed.
I think this weekend we get Boo on Boo.
Boo on Boo crime. Boo Llewellyn versus
Hopefully.
Boo Alira.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
Because it sounded like the Boo thing was a skin thing. It's not like an injury.
That is so
Hey
frustrating.
guys, what is with the skin thing?
Yeah.
There's been like 4 of them this year. I don't recall in the last decade hearing about any of them besides this year.
Yeah, it's bizarre to me because I felt like you would.
Well, it was.
There would be guys that get held out, from time to time. It's like, oh, they're holding them out, and like, oh yeah, he has a skin thing. But they're never putting guys on the scale or whatever with skin stuff.
Right, they're not trying to get past skin check.
Right.
But it was Oklahoma State Lehigh happened, and then it was Oklahoma State. Who was the next weekend? Oklahoma State, someone else. Someone got kicked out of the lineup. Help me out here. Damn, I gotta bring up Oklahoma State's schedule.
No, I remember.
Oh, we're talking about Lehigh.
It was the weekend
After
right
Lehigh
after
duel.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Whitcraft they wouldn't let Whitcraft wrestle at Lehigh. And then
I'm Googling it right now.
Oh, it was Princeton.
Princeton, yeah.
Princeton. It was Princeton. Yes, Princeton.
Their 65-pounder couldn't wrestle.
Princeton 65.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like 2 times. I mean, so this is obviously a 3rd time in 1 year. Like, I don't ever recall this happening and affecting dual meet results and stuff. It's really weird.
Yeah, no doubt.
Should Stanford? I guess not.
Should they pull him?
Yeah, I mean, Vandermeer is good, but it seems like they have a better option. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on what the plan is for them, right?
I think you roll it this year because you're gonna have 3 years of those guys all together.
Yes.
Woods, Griffith, and
Sure.
So you don't need 4, I guess.
And like Abbas, were you the one that brought it up? Like, handed Alira's his only high school loss too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
And yeah, I don't know. We always thought he was going to be a really good folk stop prospect. So
I like him a lot.
he'll definitely
Man,
get back
his
there.
progression is scary good. He started out the year 4 losses, kind of looked so. Seemed like, okay, yeah, he's definitely true freshman. We'll see how he does. And then he won Reno, had a couple decent wins there, and then he looked really good here at Scuffle.
To the point about the 4 losses, same thing I brought up with Assad yesterday. Where like, did
He got teched by Legend Lamer.
he did
Yes.
did Abbas peak
What?
for Scuffle because it's maybe going to be his final competition of the year, knowing that Vandermeer is going to go the rest of the way?
It's a good question. In the interview afterwards, you could tell he really did put a lot of importance on this and very tactical in his approach to the Alira's match in particular. But I don't know. I don't know about the peaking physically, but I definitely think this was the event he had circled in his mind. This is the one where I need to show out and make my money.
I think he can still physically mature a lot too.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he looks like a full-on D1 like body yet, right?
Yeah, but Steven Abbas is 40 and he kind of looks like a babyface still.
Yeah, so maybe this is what he's going to look like. He's going to be a killer. So at 141, keep the Stanford thing rolling. Woods dominates Caden G-Feller.
Yeah.
G took out Kyle Shoup in the semi by pin. Real Woods, I mean, I think we know he's probably a top 5-ish potential guy in a really tough weight class. He's really, really dang good.
Oh, that's yeah, between him and Pletcher.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. I thought Real Woods looked great. I think he's another guy who's good in every position, can kind of wrestle everywhere. For me, the other thing here is that Tariq Wilson just still hasn't been able to find his rhythm. He loses around 16, loses in the wrestlebacks. And for whatever reason, he can't find that rhythm that he found at NCAAs a couple years back.
It could be said his true rhythm is what he has been every tournament outside of NCAAs. And that's kind of where I'm at with it at this point. Because obviously I said he was going to be number one after Vegas. It was a Tuesday headline, so you get a little wild. But that just kind of shows how I viewed Tariq. And that did not so much happen, and definitely didn't happen here. But he's in the right place to be optimized by March, so he'll have his say yet. Then at 33, Sammy Alvarez, Sammy the Baby Bull, we'll call him, I guess, takes out Mickey Philippi and Cam Sikora. We're gonna have him versus Decatur. I don't know. I feel like we talked about this yesterday. Did we or did we not?
We did not. I don't.
No,
think.
we did not.
Did not. Okay. So Alvarez. What we did talk about was Alvarez Mickey.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that position.
Alvarez chased him all over the first two periods, got the takedown, and then in the third period when Mickey had to score, he started getting super aggressive, and then the stall calls started flowing, and that irritated me. And then Sammy got the takedown to ice it, which I was thoroughly impressed with. So I thought he looked great there. And I like that he won 2 matches in 2 very different ways. He won 2 big matches very differently. He went and got it against Mickey, and against Sikora, he won with his counters, right? He showed really strong leg defense, really good scrambling. So I think for a true freshman to be able to, he showed competence on the mat against 2 really good top wrestlers.
Bottom.
Mickey and Cam Sikora are as challenging a top wrestlers you'll find outside of maybe Seth Gross at this weight class. And he passed both those tests from underneath. So I was really impressed by Alvarez's tournament.
Yeah, I agree. Alvarez is a real deal for Rutgers. They got a couple really good freshmen. But then, for me, it's like I look at that top 4, Gross, DeSanto, Rivera, Bravo, Young, all Big Ten guys, all guys you have to see. It's like when I think about those matchups, man, he's going to have a hard time breaking into that next echelon of guys moving forward this year.
Kudos to the Rutgers staff or maybe it was Alvarez, I don't know who made the decision, but going neutral in the third. Like, we've talked about that before where it shouldn't be auto bottom, and I get the development thing throughout the year, but there should be some matches where you circle and go, this is a match that can impact seeding in NCAAs. This is one where let's not just go auto bottom. Let's try and win this so that Alvarez, who, as you mentioned, is going to go through a tough Big Ten and not going to have a good, relatively, conference placement, to go and win a match so we can try to get seeded over this guy at NCAAs.
Yeah. When you're talking about the Sikora
also hate
match,
auto bottom. Terrible.
You're talking about the Sikora match, but in the Philippi match, he did go bottom in the third and got out and then got a takedown. So, I mean, that's,
He had. I remember in that Philippi match, he had to get out in like 12 seconds to preserve riding time, and he did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Mickey's really. I mean, Mickey beat Dayton last year. Mickey's really good. Pretty sure he beat Gomez. I had a dream last night. I dream about wrestling sometimes. I think Gomez came back at 33 this weekend, but
where's he at?
He's concussion stuff.
Yeah.
Still? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't think he's wrestling this year. I think it's gonna be Todd Not Small.
Wow.
So that's 33. Sammy, man, think about these true freshmen. We're gonna have Alvarez, Jordan Decatur, and Joey Silva added into the Big Ten mix at 133. What?
Red shirt, but yeah.
Well, I'm
Silva.
saying freshman.
Yeah.
Freshman.
Jersey till the wheels fall off.
But that second tier in the Big Ten is going to be extremely fun and exciting. While they can't probably break in that top 4, those would be 3 fun guys.
I have been compiling many a Joey Silva match to count it. Whenever you're ready to start punching about that, we're ready to go. We got stats lined up.
What are we punching?
You know how Bader's been doing those block parties? Maybe Christian Piles could host a Joey Silva block party.
I'll do a Joey Silva block party. It's high time. We did one for you yesterday. The natural progression is Joey Silva after Ben Askren. Listen, I like him. I like his style. I think he's really good. And there's no stats you can throw against me that will impact my thoughts.
I just think you you have a little higher opinion of him offensively than maybe what his results suggest.
He took down Spencer Lee, Austin DeSanto, and Roman Bravo Young
Yes, he did.
with leg attacks.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
But as far as like tremendously offensive dynamo, the results that
Those
he
words
posted
never
in
left
high
my
school,
mouth.
the results he posted in high school is he likes to win 3-2, 4-3, 5-3, those type of matches,
It'd be
which
like
is great.
that.
Go win them. Like, don't matter to me. But I don't think he is the offensive dynamo you've made him out to be.
I just said, don't put words in my mouth. The words offensive dynamo never left these lips. 125. Listen, pitch kind of. I'll say this. There were no takedowns in that match at any point in time. Pitch never took down Latona. Latona never took down Pitch. And
The referee didn't agree with you.
Yes, but you know who did? Mike. I was sitting up on press row with Mike Haggerty and J.R. Johnson. They're like, these are not takedowns, any of them.
Yeah.
Because there's reaction time. It exists. Everyone thinks it doesn't. At no point, and the crazy thing is, the Latona takedown against Pitch and the second Pitch takedown are the identical situation with a really shallow whizzer, and you kind of grab the far ankle for a little bit, but you don't really have it. You don't really ever pull it in.
I thought he was up on the butt, thigh up with the other hand, right here, like ankle, butt.
Who?
You guys see me?
Yeah, I can see it.
Pitch was in the first. He's like, I'm trying to scoot back, but he's here, and then he's all the way up, like on the butt cheek, hip over here with this hand, which I would agree not a takedown.
Not a takedown. So,
yeah.
But more than anything, we watched the rest of the tournament, and Pitch really didn't have another good match or another close match of any sort. So to me, I just say, okay, Dom Latona is going to be real good. Dang it.
Not your best day.
Dom's brother. Well, I still think Dom's going to have his day. But definitely Sam. Sam's going to be really good. I'm going to do that all year.
Kind of to go off topic here for a second, Ohio State just put out probables for their duel with Rutgers on Friday. They have Rocky Jordan as the only wrestler listed at 184.
Ooh.
Wow.
Okay.
80, yeah. 84.
Wow.
84.
Okay.
But he's been at 74.
I heard multiple times over the summer that he was big, and they were thinking about making him go 84. Not making him, but the plan was for him to go 84.
You sure you don't mean Micah?
No.
And Gavin's cutting way too much weight for 184 anyways.
You think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think there's any other there's no other explanation for when you look at his results from last year and then you look at his results from this year and you think, hey, what could have changed here? Well, the only thing that changed was the weight class. If you look at it, he had really solid results last year. I'm gonna pull it up.
He was at 184 last year.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Am I? Oh my goodness. Well, I just blew it.
All right. See, now there's one in your column now.
The one that sticks out is the
so-
close match with Parker.
Yeah, he had a close match with Parker. He was fine last year. I don't look at him and be like, this guy's too big for 184. I think he's more effective at 97 because I think athletically he matches up better with those guys than he does at 84. I think that's the issue. My guess. He beat Joel Shapiro, Canton Marriott, Jack Jessen last year.
Yeah, he had some good wins.
Yeah,
See, he tried to separate his head from his neck.
he did.
When he was
that was his
cranking
plan.
on that cradle. That was mean.
Yeah, that was kind of that was some bullying. Okay, so that was Pitch Latona, Sam Latona,
There you go.
which I've always called him. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be really good. I wonder how long he can make 25. He is a giant person.
Very tall, very skinny. Kind of always had that.
When's the last time
that
you stood next to
frame.
him?
When we were
In the
down
summer.
there. Yeah, down there in the summer.
Final
That's
X.
right. You interviewed him. You stood next to him. You interviewed him.
And they have Ventresca coming in. They have good problems at lightweight because Prada.
I don't know why they bother recruiting those guys.
I can't believe Tony Roby hasn't said, you know what, 41 up.
Hey, they're doing better in Penn State.
They're
right
just
now,
gonna
25.
grow.
Yeah, they're just going to grow.
They got Prada right now. He's still got eligibility left. Latona's true freshman. You got Ventresca coming in.
Girardi right now at 33.
Girardi is redshirt freshman. So
I
they're
feel
gonna
like
fill
Myers
guys
coming
in two
back?
spots.
I don't know.
Come on. You're a Hokie insider.
I haven't heard anything about Corbin since the beginning of the year, and it sounded like it was a pretty serious thing.
Okay. We'll do a little hokey pokey. Ask. We won't.
Don't reveal my source.
Don't reveal your source of your.
Definitely not obvious.
Definitely not your high school teammate Jared Hott. It would not be him. That's where they would assume. Okay. Let's get to man. I really want to talk about Arizona State Ohio State duel. That was so fun. I feel like if we don't talk about it now, we won't talk about it ever. So
it was on FS1 though, so only like 47 people watched it.
That's the exact number, and 12 of them work at Flow. So you're welcome, FS1. We're happy to give you that bump. I'll give you my thoughts. Heinzelman, I think he's too small. I think 33. Decatur, he gutted it out. And I give him credit for it because I was like, Kramer's good. He's beaten some solid guys this year, and he had to score late, and he did.
I mean, one of the things I don't know what nobody's laughing about, but I'm assuming
probably your note you put in there. Are they the three pairs?
Oh, because you put too big, too small.
I said put too small, too tired, too good. Yeah, I put funny stuff in the document that I never actually read on the show, just to like make you guys laugh.
Okay, but Decatur, my question with him was he always had the gas tank issues. If you remember at Fargo and other big matches, it's like, I mean, if you have gas tank issues in a 6-minute freestyle match, that's only going to be exacerbated in a 7-minute college folk style match. And so for me, that's going to be interesting to see how he holds up. Like, can you imagine him versus Austin DeSanto? How is that man going to hold up?
We've been talking about that.
Yeah, we think Decatur will score like the first 2 takedowns. And then DeSanto will score like 20 points.
I said so. The question I put in our Slack was, what lead would Jordan Decatur have to have after 1 for you to feel comfortable that he would win the match?
Like 8 points, 8 points maybe.
15 points.
15 says David Bray. He thinks he's running him down with 15. He could be right.
That's what you need.
I think it's a pretty big. I think Decatur's going to be pretty dang good eventually, but he's a true freshman. And it'd be nice. And one thing you mentioned, 7 minutes folk style. I do think you can get more tired in that, but just because it is longer. However, if you have top ability, that can really neutralize some of that, in my opinion. But
unless
Decatur
you're Thomas Gilman.
Right. Some guys are proficient at gassing people from bottom, i.e. Thomas Gilman. But Decatur doesn't have that top game, so I think that he's going to be having a lot of time on his feet. So I think he's good. Sasso had the major and then just had a lapse in judgment. He attacked that whole time. He was a prime example of they just forget regular stalling, real stalling.
I love that.
You hear Jaggers the whole time saying it.
I like that he said regular stalling.
Yeah. Don't forget about regular stalling.
Yeah.
He kept saying that. And he's right. It was regular stalling was happening. Ja'Cory doesn't shoot enough. I think he's so good, but when he had to score, he just blew through him on a double and almost did it again.
And that's kind of been the MO on him since he was a freshman in high school.
Yep.
5-timer ever.
If Ethan Smith could consistently finish 50% of his leg attacks, just 50% against good competition, I think he would be a top 5 guy. He gets in on everyone, and he just cannot solve that last 20% of the finish against good guys. Otherwise, I think he'd be a lot better off.
Do you think that's still an adjustment for him down to 65?
No.
Where he was an 84 last year, and the energy level might not, or I'm sorry, 74 last year, and the energy level might not be there, and then with another year under his belt and kind of figuring out how to manage that load?
No.
Or you think it's just
it's strictly technical?
Technical, things they got to work on in the off season.
I think it's just that. I just think it's hard for him. He's really good. I think he'll come along there, but it's still the same thing.
He was also a late developer in high school, so kind of maybe following a similar path in college.
I think so too. I think he's gonna be fine. He's good. He lost to Josh Shields, who's really good. But if you watch that match, you'll be like, man, he could definitely have won that match and didn't. Yeah. I pose a question here. Why don't they just tell Anthony it's a freestyle match when he goes out there and just deal with the locked hands penalties, and he'll probably still be fine? Because this guy's qualified for the Olympic trials, and he lost pretty soundly to Romero.
Well, guys, here's what I don't understand. It's not always like, hey, he's terrible on bottom, he gets turned a whole bunch, right? Mm-hmm. And why doesn't he just do takedowns? He takes Nazar down a whole bunch of times at the trials. He takes Tommy Gantz down. He takes all these really, really high-level guys down. Why don't you just do takedowns? Then let him go. I don't understand what the issue is.
I'm not entirely sure. I'm
Just
sure.
your takedown.
Just take him down. Let him up.
Takedowns.
Yeah.
That's
don't know.
it. I mean, he's got a good double leg. He's got a good slide by. He's got a good single leg. What else is he good at? He's got a lot of good takedowns.
He has
He's
a nice
diverse.
misdirect single, like right to left.
Yes.
He likes to jump over people sometimes. That's not. It's not exactly.
He's got a lot of offense.
He has a lot of ways. He has
He's
kind
got
of
a
like.
lot- yes.
He has a lateral drop. He's got a lot of stuff. I think it's the
So
defense.
why does he so bad at folk style?
I don't know. I mean, he's not
I don't
bad,
know either.
but yeah, but relative his results disparities.
Relative to his, yeah.
He beat
Exactly.
Imar, Tyler Caldwell. He's beaten Nazar, Tommy
Nazar.
Gant. We need to put his freestyle hit list together. It is out of control good.
It's very
Yes,
good.
it's really good.
Better.
Yeah,
It's like comparable to Zahid's freestyle hit list. Zahid was in Final X.
Yeah.
All right. Zahid smashed Hoffman. The note here. So Arizona State lost by 1. Zahid was rolling for the tech or pin, and in the third period, he rode like 30 seconds too long when the pin wasn't coming, and that was the difference. He ran out of time when he realized too late he had to play the takedown game.
That was a pin in the first.
I think the very first cradle, he was decked.
Yeah.
Very possible. Very possible. Norfleet has the goods for sure, but Colin, 7 minutes with him was a big ask for him. And Gary Traub is the hero we don't deserve. They were chanting Gary before, during, and after the match, even though he lost to Tanner Hall.
I have a question. So in baseball, it only counts as a save if you come in and it's 3 runs or less. That was 4. That was they're leading by 4.
Or if, because I looked this up, I looked it
I
up.
love you, Bracky.
Or if the tying run is on the on deck circle,
base.
is in the on deck
Oh.
circle. So I think it counts because Hall could have
Majored.
majored, tech, pinned, anything,
Yep.
bonus point.
I agree.
That's a save.
Gary Rivera gets a save.
Yeah.
Gary Rivera gets the save.
Save.
Love
Also,
it.
I just love that the fans are like it's just so cool whenever there's a guy who the fans clearly love, and because Cavelli Center, every time I've watched them, first of all the mat's awesome.
Oh my
Second of all,
gosh.
the crowd is tremendous.
It was insane watching on TV. It was just like the atmosphere was just coming through. I was like, this is like one of the best atmospheres in wrestling right now.
Yeah.
And Traub is like the 9th or 10th best wrestler in Ohio State, and the fans love him by far the most. They got Sassy, all that. They go crazy for Gary Traub.
Coach Ryan's literally calling him Gas Tank Gary.
I love it.
That is amazing.
Gas Tank Gary.
And it does feel like I personally like Gary Rivera better as a nickname. However, the
Me
Gas
too.
Tank Gary works much better with the clap, 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 clap. So,
Yeah.
I love to,
Yeah.
right after the dual meet ends, Logan Stieber tweets, the Cavelli Center was electric tonight. Wow. And then Gary quote tweets it, all caps, electric, 3 lightning bolts. The man just lost, but he did his job. He won on the dual meet, and he's okay with that. And, man, I love it.
Man.
Have you watched the Bill Belichick Nick Saban thing on HBO? There's
Is
a
Gary
whole
Traub in it?
5-minute. Yes.
I need to watch it.
There's a whole 5-minute thing on do your job.
Yeah.
Do your job, Gary Traub.
Hey, speaking of the other thing that you did not mention about that dual meet, there is we had a Jaden sighting. Jaden sung the national anthem. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
You think he look like an 86 or look like an 97?
His vibrato says 86, but his melody says 97. So it's tough. It's really tough. No, I don't know. He looked not big for sure. He didn't look
Yeah.
like he was 210 pounds, but
What if they're using the fisheye lens?
Yeah, who knows the lens that they had
Ooh.
on him? No one knows for sure. All right, let's get to some questions because I wanted to talk
Oh, so
about that.
I think we need to skip this. The next thing with the dual results are whack. I think we need to skip that because that's gonna. I think that one's gonna take a while to duke it out. So I think we need to
for
put that
sure.
on another show.
We can postpone that fight.
Ben and I are on the same side,
Yeah.
I think. Don't get into it now, but I think Ben and I are on the same side, and we
Don't
have
even start, Christian.
Don't get me going.
we have too much. So let's go to questions from friends, but we will table that.
I'll throw you through a
Yes.
table. All right. Jake, I feel like at this point Seth Gross can choose to either win NCAAs or make a serious run at trials, but not both. Is that reasonable? I kind of actually agree because I think for him to be effective at 57, he needs to be shrinking his body by NCAA time, which means he will not be optimized. He has to be at his best to win NCAAs this year. That maybe wasn't true 2 years ago, but to beat Rivera, RBY, DeSanto, he's got to be at his best. And if he's in shrink mode, I think it's going to be problematic. So I actually agree with Jake 33822.
I mean, obviously, I don't want to be inside Seth's head, but I'm thinking he obviously thinks he can do both, or he wouldn't be doing this. So I think he's going to hedge and be, somewhere between the ideal weight for both sizes, right? The ideal weight for 133 pounds is probably, 137 to 140. And the ideal weight for 57 kilos is probably, say, 132 to 134, maybe a couple pounds smaller. And so I bet he ends up somewhere in between those two. And so he's obviously going to try to do both. And that's a tough choice to make. But I think that's the one he's going to make, because that's the one he's got to make, because the Olympics only come every 4 years.
Exactly.
It's a little different because it's day of instead of day before. But
yeah, Jaden
kind of did it the last second, right? Remember where he tweeted, I think I can make 86?
It was at Flow Nationals.
I actually knew that. Coach Smith had told me in December, but he had told me not to tell anyone. So they were kind of planning on that ahead of time.
Which has probably happened this year as well, too. Which is also happening right now, probably on the show.
But he's not telling us.
Yeah, you know, though.
What, me?
Yeah, you know.
No, I don't know.
You know.
I don't know.
Right, but I know, but
know.
you know. Totally get it, but you definitely know. It's fine. Thoughts on Bo, speaking of weights, thoughts on Bo Nickel wrestling 97 kilograms when he weighed in several pounds under 92 against Cox. Why would he not go 86? This actually kind of goes back to something you were talking about, 185 or 205. I think Bo thinks he's a 205 MMA. Get big. I think he feels like if you're Bo Nickel, you really haven't lost to anyone outside of Jaden in a long time. And he's probably like, I'll beat Kyle Snyder. I think that's probably his mentality.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I mean, the dude weighed in at what? It was 87.2. I don't recall what 87.2. That is exactly like 22 pounds underweight for 97 kg. Like, that's absurd. It's completely absurd to do that. I know you and David are best buddies, right? But the Olympics only comes 1 in 4 years, so
they're not best buddies.
Why not? Because David didn't tell him he was hurt, or what?
Yeah. Well, obviously.
Well, then why is he? If that burned a bridge, then why isn't he going down?
I'm not saying it burned a bridge. I'm just saying.
Well, then they're best buddies.
I don't think he's going 97. I don't think he's going 86 or 97 because of friendships. Both guys.
Listen, Christian, you got the opportunity to wrestle Pat Downey or Jaden Cox to make a world team. Who you picking?
Well, Pat Downey.
And you're only 1.2 kilos overweight, you can take a crap and make that weight class.
That's
come on,
honestly,
man.
I challenge that, but yeah, I know.
You challenge what, the 1.2 kilogram crap?
Yeah, I've challenged the 1.2 kilograms. That is a long day at the office. I think he thought David was coming back. He thought David was coming back. That's why he stayed 92. It's not because he wanted. I believe he would have gone down had he known that David wasn't coming back. And he didn't find out David was coming back till after trials. Therefore, Downey.
Hey, friends, I apologize to interrupt. Apologize for all the interruptions in the show. But our dear friends at Flow Grappling, who's number one? They start in 10 minutes in the studio. So, number one, we should probably be nice to them and get out of here soon. And also, we may need to do some hard negotiations. If you know what I mean.
Well, we need Ben in studio then, because they all have like black belts.
What's happening?
Who's number one? The show for Flow Grappling. They start in 10 minutes, and so we may need to do some rejiggering of the time slot going forward.
Yeah, this 8:15 nonsense.
We can do a few more questions.
We can do a few more questions. Okay.
I mean, we're still on a pretty long show. What are we at, like an hour and a half or something right now?
Yeah. It's
I
kind
feel
of.
like we're talking for a while.
That's kind of been the norm the past few months, though.
I know.
Hour and a half.
All right, real quick Vandal update. The toilet vandal. I believe the toilet vandal was terminated because it's all quiet on the Western Front.
And it has been since about what, like Thanksgiving?
Since McConaughey.
No, something happened after that.
Oh, shoot.
Something happened while I was out on paternity leave.
Okay.
There was one incident, but there has been people
Post McConaughey.
Since left the company that could have done it.
Raleigh Stillings. Go ahead, Ben.
Oh, I see a question that I love so much.
Ask it.
Can we answer that? Okay. This is a great question by Tanner. List the following in terms of likelihood to get Carvered in 2020. Pletcher, Moore, Nick Lee, Mark Hall, Gable Stevenson, or Nick Piccinini.
I will. First of all, Mark Hall already got Carvered.
Mark Hall already paid his Carver tax.
Can you pay the Carver tax more than once?
He should not have to. That would be unfair.
That is unfair.
That's
He should not have to do that.
He paid his debt.
Yeah.
He should get his tax return.
He should get a return. Pletcher versus Murin, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Colin Moore versus Jacob Warner, I don't think so.
More so up and down. I could see it happening. Moore's very up and down.
I don't like a lot of these because of the matchups.
Yeah.
Like, Moore is vulnerable, but I don't know if Jacob Warner's the one to do it.
But you got to pick
That's
in
the
this
whole point.
list who is the most likely of these people.
Got it. Yeah, I will do this.
Yeah. How about Stevenson?
No way.
No way.
Not putting that out
Impossible,
there.
right?
I'll say
He loves those moments.
I'll say most
Mark
likely.
Hall.
I'll say it's Pletcher.
Well,
I'll say it's Pletcher.
no.
Pletcher then Moore. Yes.
I'm going to go Colin
So we
Moore.
took.
Pitch has been there. He stormed back on Spencer in the third.
Also-
and Carver.
Also,
He's been pinned by him before.
he has been pinned by him
Yeah.
before. I don't. Yeah.
I'm
I don't know
going
if
Mark
he's getting
Hall.
Harvard.
Michael
Right.
Kemmerer, baby.
You got Hall over or Kimmer over Hall. That's your.
Well, I don't have it. I have it as the most likely. If I had
Most
to put
likely.
betting odds on all of these options, I think that's the most. I think Murin's got less of a chance against Pletcher, Nick Lee. I don't think
Yeah.
Cassius
What am
got
I
a great shot
talking
against
about?
Stevenson. So I would go if I had to do the list, I'm taking Piccinini out. I'd go Hall first, Cullen Moore second, then Gable, and then probably Nick Lee Pletcher.
Yeah, I kind of completely changed my mind.
Also with Hall,
I think you're right. I think
feel
it's Hall.
I feel like getting Carvered is when you lose to a guy who is unranked,
Yeah.
or like there's like a eight gap spot in the ranking as opposed to like 2 over 1. Mm-hmm. That's the
Sure.
only other
Yeah,
thing
that's
with
true.
there. Like obviously Hall's favored, no question about that. Just I don't know if that counts as getting Carvered.
Maybe it is Pletcher.
Yeah.
I keep going back and forth. I'm gonna say it's Pletcher. I'll change my mind after the show, but for right now, that's a good
So is
question.
that it for us? Do we gotta go for the
Last
grappling
one. This is
show?
an easy one to answer. Raleigh Stillings. Can anyone block a spot at last chance like they could at Senior Open? No. No more spot stealing. No more spot blocking.
Correct.
Of any kind. So with that, Caleb, thank you for your patience. Play us out. We are ready to go. Thank you guys so much for listening. 443 episodes of Flow Wrestling Radio Live. We'll be back tomorrow. Then we'll be back. This is the thing. This is what we do. Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays at 8:15.
It's what we do.
That's what we do. We have Ben Askren on our show.
This is what we do.
Thanks so much for tuning in.
I got a teaser. Andrew Spey and I might be doing something for you guys a little later. Big Roo and the Nomad.
Big Roo?
And
Yeah, baby.
CP on the Joey Silva block party.
Yeah, Block Party. I'm going to start downloading them. Thanks so much, guys. Shout out Joey Silva. See you tomorrow. Thanks.
Peace.